It's story time. It's story time. Come on, gather around because it's story time. Welcome to the story time with me. We're gonna read books. We're gonna have some laughs. We're gonna smile today. We're gonna have a lot of laughs because it's story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with Nina. Story time with
Dreidels, a body on a clay, let's drive right, we'll drive on the play, Bookie, oh my gosh, thank you for singing the dreidel song, that's so amazing. I want to thank you for my Hanukkah gift this year of my dreidels. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome, Nina. I was so excited to see the world do a whole 8 nights of Hanukkah, and I was ready to celebrate with all of my friends out there in the land. Happy Hanukkah! Oh, Bookie, thank you so much. We're really thrilled that you're here today as we close out our Hanukkah celebration of 8 wonderful stories that help tell the history of tradition and the importance and the meaning behind Hanukkah with wonderful authors and wonderful books. I love books, and I love books about Hanukkah. I'm so excited. Did you give me presents? I did get you presents, Bookie. They're all in the bookshelf. They're all waiting for you. With the delicious latke I made from scratch. Oh my God! Someone could get up and be back. Oh, okay. Bye, Bookie. Wow, he was in a hurry to get to the presents. Well, I say welcome to Storytime with Nina. My name is Nina, and this is our 8th and final night of Hanukkah. Look at that beautiful menorah behind me, lit up, all 8 candles, and the 9th in the middle. That's just glorious and gorgeous. I thank you so much for joining me for this wonderful week of stories and celebrations. As I was sharing with Bookie, we learned about dreidels, and we learned about delicious latkes and filled donuts, fried filled donuts, and the history of the oil, and we've learned so much together, but, well, we're not done. We have one more story together, and I'm so excited to share it with you tonight. This is a story by Erica S. Pearl called The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. What? Yes, The Ninth Night of Hanukkah, illustrated by Shahar Kober. This is The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. Welcome, my friends. You know, on the first night of Hanukkah, the box with the menorah and everything else for the holiday was missing, so Max and Rachel looked for each other. And they looked at each other and they said, what, no menorah or potato latkes or chocolate gelt? Without them, it sure didn't feel like Hanukkah. Well, let us learn the story of the 9th night of Hanukkah. So, as I always say, crack open a good book. Go on an adventure with me as we read this wonderful story by Erica S. Pearl and illustrated by Shahar Kober. This is the 9th night of Hanukkah. On the first night of Hanukkah, Mom couldn't find the menorah. Special delivery, said Dad, arriving with pizza. Max and Rachel looked at each other. Wait, no menorah? No latkes? It's just for tonight, said Mom. I'm sure we'll find our Hanukkah things tomorrow. Exhausted from unpacking, the family sat down to dinner in their brand new apartment. That's right, it looks like they just moved. Huh. It was nice, but you know what? It just didn't feel like Hanukkah. And you can see the cat looking at the cans of cat food. But it's nice to be in a new apartment, but without all the decorations and the menorah, and it just didn't feel like Hanukkah. On the second night, the missing menorah still hadn't turned up. Should we go to the store? Asked Max. No, we'll find it soon, said Rachel. Besides, I have an idea for tonight. So Rachel made a beautiful menorah, and Max helped her decorate it. Look at this. So the kids are getting crafty. They decided to make a beautiful menorah, and they decorated together. And the cat, you can see the cat looking on. But when it came time to light the candles, Mom realized she'd packed them with the menorah. Uh-oh! Look at Mom digging in all these moving boxes. Where is the menorah? Where are the candles? Now, should we go to the store? Asked Max. Mom checked her watch and shook her head. Everything's probably closed by now. Max and Rachel convinced Mom to let them ask a neighbor. So, what'd they do? They knocked on 2C right next door and explained the situation to Mrs. Mendez. Would these work? She asked. She hands them some birthday candles, as you can see in the illustration. Maybe, said Rachel. The only thing they can do is go try. So they're going to try to put the birthday candles in the menorah. Dad lit shamash. Max and Rachel each used it to light a candle. Then Max and Rachel both got presents. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. So you can see the birthday candles are here in the menorahs that they got from their neighbor, Mrs. Mendez in 2C. And you can see they're lighting the shamash and the two candles here for night 2 of Hanukkah. And their gifts, Max got a car and Rachel got a skateboard. And the cat's like, this is awesome, but it still didn't feel like Hanukkah to Max or Rachel. On the third night, Dad offered to make latkes. Yeah. He just needed to find his lucky latke pan, but Dad searched through box after box. Max followed his nose downstairs. You could smell something. And in 1B, the apartment where he met Joe, the super. Welcome to the building, said Joe. Need anything? Let me know. Anything? Asked Max. Eyeing the steaming platter, Joe happily shared. It was nice, but it still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. Yeah, those look like French fries on that plate, don't they? That doesn't look like a potato latke to me. At least not the latkes we've met during this Hanukkah season. You can see Joe's dog looking on like, wait, they're eating my French fries? Wait a minute. On the fourth night, Max said, let's play dreidel. Look, I have one right here. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. Ah! One problem, no dreidel. I'm beginning to think one of our boxes got lost, said Dad. So Mom called the moving company, and Max and Rachel set out to find a dreidel. Now, the Watson twins, who lived upstairs in 3B, they didn't have one. But they did have a toy that could spin and spin. Look at this. So the Watson twins, who are their neighbors from upstairs, they offer them, Max and Rachel, a hula hoop that they're spinning around on the waist. It was nice, but you know what? It still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. On the fifth night, Max and Rachel figured out a way to play dreidel, which meant they needed gelt. Do you remember what gelt is? Do you remember gelt are the chocolate coins? And that's what they're playing with. If they're going to spin the dreidel, they're going to need to get the coins for the chocolate. So what they do, they go to Mr. Patel in 4A. No chocolate coins, but I do have these, said Mr. Patel in 4A. And he handed Rachel and Max some chocolate chips. It was nice, but it still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. But look how nice all these neighbors are to help them with these traditions. Mr. Patel's giving them chocolate chips, and the Watson twins gave them a hula hoop spin, and Mrs. Mendez even gave them birthday candles, and even Joe, the super, he gave them potatoes. Seems like a nice building. These people are helping. On the sixth night, Rachel wanted to have a Hanukkah sing-along, but Mom's guitar hadn't arrived yet. Gigi has one, shouted the Watson twins, running up to 5C. So you can see everybody's gathered, and this next, it turned out they were almost right. Mom taught Gigi the chords to Rock of Ages, and everyone sang. It was nice, but you know what, friends? It just didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. But look at everybody. You can see everything that they're kind of collecting. You can see the hula hoop and the menorah with the birthday candles, and it's lit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lit 6 candles plus the shamash. And they got chocolate chips instead of the gelt, and the cat's in the box hanging out going, yeah, this is pretty cool. But still didn't feel like Hanukkah, did it? Now on the 7th night, Max and Rachel discovered how they were missing something else. How do you wrap a present without wrapping paper? On their way outside, they saw Dr. Lee reading in the lobby. And look at Dr. Lee reading in the lobby. And he's got a newspaper in his hand. That's an idea. When they asked him where to buy wrapping paper, he handed them the comics. Try using these, suggested Dr. Lee. So they did. They used the wrapping paper. They used the newspaper as wrapping paper. It was nice, but it still didn't feel like Hanukkah. On the 8th night, Max realized what their Hanukkah needed. Jelly donuts! It took knocking on several doors, but finally Max got his jelly. from the twins' mom in 3B, from Mrs. Watson, just not in donut form. This was nice, said Rachel as they walked downstairs. Max took a big bite and finished her thought. Quite like Hanukkah. It was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but it just wasn't the same as their jelly donuts. Just not the same, is it? The next morning, after Hanukkah, 8th night was over, there was a knock at the door. Special delivery! Only this time it wasn't Dad or pizza. And it wasn't the long-lost box. It was someone with Mom's guitar. And Mom says, let's have a Hanukkah sing-along tonight, suggested Mom. Last night was the 8th night, though, Rachel reminded her. It won't be Hanukkah anymore. Maybe it should be, said Max, pointing. 9 candles, 9 nights. Rachel's eyes lit up and she whispered something to Max. There was an idea. They had an idea. Max whispered back, and together they developed a plan. With a box of candles and a box of crayons, they set it into motion. That evening, Max and Rachel waited. And waited. Maybe this isn't going to work, said Max. It'll work, said Rachel, sounding more confident than she actually felt. Wonder what their plan is. And then, just then, there was a knock at the door, and another, and another, and another, and another, and another. Why, look at all these illustrations. It's Mrs. Mendez and Miss Watson and the Watson twins and Mr. Patel and even Dr. Lee and Joe the Super. Max and Rachel thanked them all for coming. Then they explained their reason for their shamash night celebration. For 8 nights of Hanukkah, the shamash helps light all the other candles, said Max. Like all of you helped us, said Rachel. So we wanted to say thanks to the shamash and to you. Just then, a voice called out from the back of the line. A special delivery? Could it be? It was the missing box, said Mom. Now that's what I call a miracle, said Dad. And in the box, Max and Rachel found their family menorah, Hanukkah candles, Dad's lucky latke pan, dreidels and gelt and wrapping paper, and Aunt Edith's recipe for her famous jelly donuts. So on the 9th night, in their new home, Max and Rachel and their new friends talked and they laughed, ate and they played games and they sang and they danced by the light of many candles. It was really, really, really nice. And best of all, it felt exactly like Hanukkah. Hanukkah is the festival of lights, and it commemorates the victory of a small ragtag band of Maccabean soldiers over the far more powerful Greek and Syrian forces of King Antiochus in the year 165 BCE. You know, the legend is that after the Maccabees regained control of the defiled and damaged temple, there was only enough lamp oil left for one night, and yet, miraculously, it burned for 8 more nights. For this reason, we say blessings and light candles each night of Hanukkah. We start by lighting one candle using the shamash or the helper candle the first night, and then we add one additional candle each night until all the candles are lit. And on the 8th night, that final night of the holiday, all the candles are lit, like tonight, wherever you might be celebrating. The word shamash is Hebrew and is pronounced shamash. The Yiddish word, it means, it's what families including many say, shamis. Hanukkah tradition in many families is for everyone to choose a candle and root for it to burn out the longest. One night, while making their selections, the author's two daughters wondered out loud, why didn't the shamash have its own night in honor of spending and celebrating these candles and helping light the candles? So that's how this book, The Ninth Night of Hanukkah, came to be. I want to thank you for celebrating all 8 nights of Hanukkah with me. And I want to thank our wonderful author, Erica Pearl, for this beautiful story about how to extend Hanukkah and celebrate it one more night in the shamash candle, the helper candle. You've all helped me have a miraculous and wonderful Hanukkah as I've learned so much more about the Jewish traditions and the holiday and the Festival of Lights. If you're not Jewish, I hope you've had a wonderful time learning with me. And if you are Jewish, thank you for sharing your holiday with us. And thank you for allowing us to celebrate it with you. I say Happy Hanukkah. And I cannot wait till next year when I try to master my own potato latkes in my own personal special latke pan. But until then, I'll see you for our next story time as we begin to mark and celebrate the season of Christmas. But until then, let's celebrate. It's the 8th night of Hanukkah. Light the candles, sing the songs, and celebrate the miracle of miracles that is Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah, and I hope you will always remember in this season to go big, to be kind, and to be you. Happy Hanukkah.
You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Now sing this to someone you love, someone you think is very special. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Anytime you're feeling sad and blue, remember you're special, 'cause there's only one you. You are wonderful, you're one of a kind, like a lucky star. You light up my life, so keep on smiling, keep on shining. Go big, be kind, be you. Thank you for singing with me, and always remember just how special you really are. Go big, be kind, be you. Go big, be kind, be you. La 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 la. 'Cause drag is magic, drag is for you, and drag is for me. Drag is for everyone, drag is cool, drag is fun.